What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. And don't mind the fact, I really wish YouTube would do something where you could kind of black out the screen. I may see if I can do a filter where I can actually make this a black screen or something. That's something I need to look into. But anyway, you see the title. You see what's going on. We already in the middle of the week. On the back end or approaching the back end of February, already 6 weeks in, and it's really been a lot of stuff within the year. But anyway, let me just jump right into the video. So today, what I want to talk about is the emasculating shaming tactics. What value do they have, and really and basically predates. Yes, you can go. Stop being stupid. Okay, predates. Let's talk about it. So I was on a Facebook thread of somebody that it's kind of like around in a certain camp, and I'm not going to mention it because it's not really relevant. Because I don't want to people start trolling. As far as I want y'all to in the chat to focus on the topic at hand. But they were talking about predates. So a couple of things that were being said. This was by a dude. Now he was saying any guy that's talking about a predate is a virgin. And this is a dude that for the most part said some smart shit. So I was kind of surprised. I don't know if he was just trolling people, which is definitely very possible. I don't know if he was just trying to see how dudes would respond. I don't know. That is possible with this guy. But he was saying, this is on my other my main Facebook page too. But he was basically saying, dudes that go on predates are basically virgin. Basically trying to say you ain't a real man on some old, he ain't an old nigga, but on some old nigga shit. Talk about traditionalism, traditional courting and dating. And I get it, sometimes you can only say a soundbite, but I'm going to really break this down at face value because it triggered a lot of people commenting. A lot of dudes defended certain practices. A lot of women, tried. And if I were to tell you which camp this is, you would, I'll only use one word, and I'll say acculturated prostitution, that Ron Will's video did. And that's as far as I'll go with it. But you have women that seem genuine, but they want to talk from their own bubbles. I've never heard that. I've never seen that. That's only something that I get online. And I want to address all that stuff. I want to unpack all that stuff. Because too many times what happens is people are having narrative conversations. And your narrative, here's the thing. I value folks to keep it all the way the fuck real. Shout out to Glenn and Cameron. And the reason why, I got respect for people like Glenn and Cameron is because they keep it all the way fucking real, whether you agree with it or them or not. Glenn and Cameron is very real about, the black community and what the cultural problems are as far as it fucks up people's individual success and how that contributes to that as far as the group thing. He's very real about how he feels about Trump. He's very real about a lot of different things. He's real about everything. And he puts it out there, and it's not even about he backs it up, but he basically puts his shit behind it, right? So, one thing that people will do is they will try to say, well, you don't have enough money, or you're really broke, or you're really this, or you're really that, because as a way of trying to take the logic out of it and say you're 1 + 1 is 5 and you're this, so you can't say it's not because you're this or you may be this. Knowing good and well there ain't nobody about to take a stack of like $50,000 or $30,000, just put it on the fucking table on YouTube and say what? Logic is logic. And it's not, and people can have their opinions, sure, but at the end of the day, shit still comes back to some general shit. It just does. And again, people use that to reinforce their narratives. So people, this is what the narrative really is. The narrative that I'm speaking to, and in fact, I'm gonna start naming. That's a good one. I'm gonna start doing videos naming certain narratives and certain schools of thought, because I think it's important to show what people buy into, even and then why that narrative may be true for an individual, maybe be true for a small group, but as a whole, it's not true. And when I say a whole, I'm not necessarily talking about the entire black community. I'm talking about in any serious kind of segment. That's not true. If you really break it down, this is why BGS's 92, 89, 87 model has been so good. And this is why the diesel model that he's currently kind of working on has been so great. Because these things are ways that you can kind of, people have a narrative, you can kind of put these filters on the narrative and see if it lines up based on these general principles, and you figure out, no, that equation doesn't really add up in any kind of way that you're trying to say that it does, outside of maybe individual circumstances, which matters. I'm not saying it doesn't, but see, again, when I talk about something, I'm not talking about individuals, I'm talking about segments of the population. So anyway, let's dive right in. So first, let's deal with the narrative of, you know, it's ratchets versus, I'm gonna call it the Real Housewife troop. There's ratchets, and then there's these other class of women that don't do that, that are of another level, that are, you know, they have a better standard. So they don't deal with issues like this. Yet, these are the women that always like to say, or the people that always like to say, I only hear about this shit online. I don't see this in real life. You know, or you know, they blame shit on the most basic of shit. I wish, you know, this wouldn't happen if they had biological fathers in the home. Just some Oprah shit, basically. Some shit that goes no deeper. And there was one woman, and you know, she was fine, she was cordial. I'm actually going back and forth with her right now on Facebook. And you know, she wasn't, you know, on some ultra ratchet shit. But one thing I told her, I said, do her research. And she said, I don't need to do my research. Because she was saying something that was kind of off the chains. And she said, I don't need to do my research. My father taught me everything I need. I'm like, okay, so if your father taught you everything you need, then I guess why are you here? Are you here for moral support? Why are you here? Because clearly you don't have a problem. And the way that I responded to her, because there was some other stuff we were talking about, is I said, okay, here's the thing. You say you wish there was a father in the home, as if a father not being there only affects men. Like, that doesn't affect women, and how they don't see the value of a man, and how they go out here on some gimme shit, actually expecting dudes to just give them, absence of any kind of consideration of the time that they're putting out. Because let's keep it real. And shout out to Alan Roger Curry, who's engaged apparently. But I'm talking about even amongst Mode 1, and I forget, you know, his other books, but let's just do the Mode 1 series books. His second book, he talks about time wasters. That's one of the main things. Now, you know, Alan Roger Curry ain't on no simp shit. You know, Alan Roger Curry ain't on no red pill validation shit. He's straight up get what you get, be a man, right? But even if I argue that in the context of what he's wrote, he would say, you need to vet out time wasters. What's up, Brenda? So when people talk about, I'm gonna jump it into Predates. When people talk about Predates, it doesn't fucking matter how a woman feels about it. A woman's feelings is irrelevant. The goal of a predate, or the goal of even suggesting that, is to make the bitch, I'm gonna say it like this, is to make the bitch say no. It is to put a woman in a position where she has to give you an up or down vote. The goal is for her to say no. The goal is not for, oh, well, I want to see what the woman's about, you know, because I'm scared. No. The goal is to make your ass say no. Because the goal is to put you in a position to see, are you really interested, or do you want free fucking food? And as a man, the goal of a man is to accept her decision for whatever reason she gives it. That's where men fuck up about the fact that a woman is not to participate. Then yes, now you can start saying, okay, dude, what is your real intention here? Because why are you mad if she chooses not to participate? And this goes back to Obsidian too. When Obsidian, it was, I forget what the woman's name was, it was light-skinned sister. And there's always these light-skinned chicks that can get bougie online. I noticed that. But it was a light-skinned sister, an older woman, and she was talking about, oh, well, I don't like that. I'm like, I wanted to really get on there and say, it's not about what you like. The goal is for you to say no. I don't, or she said that wouldn't work. It doesn't work most of the time. It's not supposed to work. It's supposed to vet. It's supposed to qualify. Let me give you a perfect example. Let's say I'm selling platinum credit cards. Let's say I'm selling platinum mortgages or a loan. Even something where everybody wants it, I still have to qualify. No, that's not a good example because everybody would want a loan. Let's say I'm selling a product. I got you. I'm selling something called Cutco knives. Cutco knives are great knives. I could go into telling you what they're for, but they're high as hell. For one set of Cutco knives, which is like 12 pieces, and that includes, and like six of those pieces are steak knives, is $1,500 today. About $1,300, $1,500. Most of y'all would be like, fuck that. All the things will be saying, what the fuck is he talking about with some knives, especially that high? I'm not even going to sell you on it because it's not fucking relevant. The point is, any of you all that walk out the room because I tell you that price, I've already vetted you out because you've already demonstrated that you all don't qualify. It doesn't matter that you could do it month to month. None of that matters. None of that matters. What matters is you all are not qualified to purchase a product like that because you all think it's too expensive. It's not saying anything bad for you, but as far as me let's say if I'm selling this, I want to get in front of people that are qualified to buy. Now, you can cut it up in a lot of different pieces and modalities. You don't have to pay $1,300, not $1,300. But the point is, if you're not qualified for that product, I'm wasting my time getting in front of you trying to sell it. And back in the day when I used to sell Cutco, which it was like only $600, $700 for that same homemaker set, I had to do an hour-long presentation or 45-minute presentation. And that's assuming people would show up. There's a lot of room to waste your time if you are just trying to show anybody and everybody. Now, the burden on you is to find out how to get in front of certain people, how to get in front of certain networks as a salesperson in order to get in front of people that can qualify for that time, right? But you still have to qualify people. Now, sometimes it makes sense to get in front of people because you can get referrals, and if you get referrals, you can get into other people, so it still makes sense. There's other things in that, but the point is, I already told you what it is. Same thing with selling cars. A lot of people don't know is you got to get a lot of your own client list. It's not just they do advertising to get people in there, to get people to you, but the better salesman, shout out to Jesse Veal, the better car salesman requires you to be able to create your own clientele, and that's something nobody talks about in sales. This is a big reason. This is one of the big things why people are scared of sales, because that's a part of it that's not considered. It's not like, okay, you're doing telemarketing and telesales and shit like that. Anyway, my point, bringing that back to the dating arena and that predate shit, that predate is not meant for dudes to go on a predate. There's times where I haven't been sure about a chick, and I've done it's rare, but I've said, all right, let's meet up here first. And I don't call it a predate. I say, let's meet up here first and then chill, and then we can go to where we're really gonna go. Or let's meet up here and chill, And then I ended up taking them somewhere because I wanted to go. Fuck them. I wanted to go. Like, maybe it's this restaurant I haven't been in, so I wanted to go. And they were cool with it because it wasn't no cheap place, right? Because I'll go in a restaurant on my own, by my damn self, just a better restaurant out for future use. I'll go by myself. So I have no problem taking somebody with me. And I've done that because the vibe is right. The chemistry is there. It's not about, oh, I want to take a bitch on a predate and then I want to then take her home so we can fuck. No. And that's not what most of them dudes are saying either. At the end of the day, most of them dudes were not saying predates and then lead to sex. They were basically saying, I need to vet you, qualify you for my time. Because I'm not about to sit here and take you out on no date where I got to get ready. I got to do all this. Not like dudes ain't females, but you get what I'm saying. And then on top of this bitch is on her phone. No. And you're not going to make it a commentary on my manhood that she was sexually attracted and you were that nigga. Then no, you're right. Maybe I'm not that nigga. So she don't need to be with me and eating off of me. How about that? She needs to eat off of a nigga that's a nigga she would fuck. How about that? Like, as if there's some obligation that you have to just sit there and let the bitch just eat or do some shit like that. Now, my personal rule is I'll take a check out on a date, but I'll tell you, like one date, but I'll tell you this right now. If the date ain't going the way I wanted to go, I'll end that bitch quick because you're on my time. No, that's not how it works. And it work that way, it's because there are established standards in the society where women are very much so shamed for not dealing with that standard. In a patriarchal society, a woman is seen, this is where Jezebel's gold digger, this is where this stuff comes from. Because you're operating outside of what the norm is. This is obvious, but you gotta spell this shit out. Because when people say certain things at a certain lane, oh, well, you're this and you're that. Man, dudes, like, let's keep it real. Outside of online, you got women online in much stronger numbers, by the way. It's way more females in the complaining about they can't get a man market than the quote unquote manosphere as in its entirety. Then you got chicks on mainstream. You got mainstream radio. Then you got mainstream you got what I call mainstream social media, which is like the Oprah network. And those American radio, and all of that is just bitches complaining about men they can't get. Yet it's never seen as, and to be fair, this guy that I'm talking about, but because I'm really talking more about the thread, he's gone both ways with this. So I'm not again, but my point is, as far as the conversation goes, have a whole conversation and not this back and forth. I live in my own fucking bubble. So where I live, we're not talking about you. We're talking about everybody. But going back to my original point, women like to act like, well, I'm an attorney, I'm a lawyer, I'm accomplished, so this shit don't happen to me. Then what the fuck are you complaining about? Because the 92 complaint is there's not enough men. So you've already established there's not enough men. So if there's not enough quote unquote qualified, because really it's code for qualified men. And when I say qualified, I'm talking about women qualified to be on their social status, which your social status is based on how you look. Your social status based on what your job is irrelevant. If you're a fat bitch, I don't give a fuck what job you have. You're still a fat bitch. So therefore, your social status doesn't override that. Men's social status can, but it can only do that to a certain extent. Now, let's go into the other elephant in the room. The fact that the idea of all these women, even the women that are quote unquote 92s, because a lot of 92s are because this is another comment that was made in there. Talk about, I see women are fucking around with other women's husbands because these niggas are broke. Well, first of all, just because you're married don't mean you paid. That's number one. And number two, if a dude is going to be doing that, then he might as well be tricking. And this will be the same group that will then, if you're talking about tricking, they'll be okay with tricking because they're okay with dudes or with quote unquote getting money up out of a dude. But and not getting value. But they would have a problem with dudes betting, qualifying these chicks. There is way more good looking women across racial lines that you can deal with without putting out they deserve the world for their time. Most of you chicks are not worthy of spending 30 or 45 fucking minutes with. You all don't have the intellectual capacity to do so. And even the quote unquote educated women are still women that want to be ratchets. They may have a job, they may have a career, but you had a certain face for white folks, and then you got your real face. And even the bougie bitches ain't shit. Y'all ain't half the time, y'all not even worth really taking out. Because y'all don't know how to talk. Let's keep it all the way real. So this idea, but my other point is these women are fucking certain types of dudes. This idea that these females are not fucking dudes for free is bullshit. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're fucking a dude for free, then you ain't got no right to try to tell another dude he needs to pay. Now, of course, you're gonna do that because that's what women do, and you all think and I don't expect women to sit here and if they don't want to be vetted, they don't want to be vetted. But at the same time, when you add this emasculation part to it, where with men that do this are a certain type, no, it's just niggas ain't trying to be out here wasting their time on bitches that's out here playing. Like you're not owed a fucking 5-star date, on the first date. Hell, the first date is a qualifying date. I'll be back. On my damn, what was that? Collateral. But yeah, but the pre-date, but like the first date is a pre-date broken down, but people are not genuine. Like back in the day, you were not supposed to go out on a date of somebody that you were not interested. You got women that will actually go out on dates with people they have no intention, no sexual real or sexual attraction to. They will go what I call friend zone dates. Like they're basically going out with dudes to basically for them to audition to be in the friend zone, basically to be used, because because being hoe zone, you could be getting good dick and you can get money if you're a female. You're just not getting validation and attention from a guy that you would want, because women are not going to be hoe zone by dudes they're not sexually attracted to. But being friend zone has literally no real value to the man at all. There is no value to the man on that. Unless you're dealing with a chick on some business shit and she got networking contacts, which most of the time they don't. So again, the 99% of the time that is, dudes are not thinking about that. So again, there is no value there. And really what you really hear people advocating for is one value go one way and value never is addressed the other way. And then any dudes that try to counter that shit has a problem with that, female wise. I mean, I got a chick that it is a woman that I know this 45 fucking years old. I'm not about to go into her stuff, but she's 45 fucking years old. And she brought this shit up with the predate shit too a while ago. And she was sitting there talking about, oh, well, dudes do that. And they have these like what dudes do. And I'm like, you're a single mom. And I'm not even gonna get into like all the other like minimal check boxes I could do, because I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm like, god damn, you that being way really have an overprice of the value you all are really bringing, like straight like that. And this is why you got folks there alone, and then what happens is they're complaining about a standard that they can't even meet. Like real fucking talk. So again, you know, there is no genuineness in it a lot of times. And I'm not talking about overall, I'm talking about in general. Like a lot of women are not genuine. And we're talking about even the 92 specifically. Because a lot of their excuse is, well, we're of a certain class, so we need to be treated a certain way. Okay, well then you could go ahead and get them white men to do all that. You can get them white folks to do all that. Real talk. Because let's keep this all the way 100. I'm not fucking taking no bitch to no 5-star. No. I'll deal with that for somebody that I've known for a long time before I do that with some new bitch. And half these motherfuckers ain't even being taken out like that. This is why they're complaining like they are. They're not sitting, it ain't like, oh, well, they're just getting on YouTube or Facebook to talk about what some niggas ain't doing, but the majority of them doing. They're getting mad because the dudes that they want ain't really taking them out like that, because they're giving that up for free. And the dudes that they kind of pseudo would maybe look at, maybe so ever, but they want somebody to buy their time. I'm like, bitch, you're not worth it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Women today are not worth that. They're not. And I go on dates and I have no problem doing so. But understand, the vast majority of you all are not worth all that shit. You're not. And nobody never really stops to tell you that. So what we go back to is, you weren't raised by your father. You weren't raised to do this or do that or do this. As if a man raised you, all of a sudden, that means that you would be in the same sip zone. Because they're trying to speak to, and I'm like, half of you all aren't even old enough to know what that is. Or they live in these bubbles. Shit may go down that way. Or their own individual situations. But they got friends that are sorry as hell. So now they wanna be an advocate for their friends. And I'm tired of these kind of women that are, you know, the white boys will call it walking new walks. And not everybody's like that. And you talk to most black women will always say they're exception. They're all the exception. All of them are the exception. You add 9 of them are the exception. All 9 are going to say, out of 10 are going to say they're the exception. That's not what I said. You heard what you wanted to hear. I did not say that the woman I took out was worth it. I'm saying that most women are not worth dates. Most dudes, and women would never outwardly say that they have no intention. A woman would never actually communicate, I never fuck on the first date. Ever. They will never go out of their way to say that, because they know most dudes are not going to waste the time taking them out if they do that. If they put that qualifier out there, most dudes are not going to waste the time taking them out on a date. Dudes are just going to be, okay, well, that's cool. I'm moving on to something else. That's why women always leave it in the gray. They try to leave shit out there for you to fill in the blanks. I make sure you're on record. And I may not directly ask you, but I know how to get what I need out of you when it comes to your intentions. I know how to play that game. I know how to do that in a way that probe for that shit in a way that somebody may not realize that that's what I'm probing for in a general conversation. Most dudes don't know how to do that shit. But that's not even my point. Like I said, I'm saying in general, most women today are not worth taking out. They're not. They're not worth it. If I were to say I'm going to take a woman out on the basis of her company and her time, Most of y'all are not worth that by any standard metric. No, I just want to have a good time with a nice woman. Hell no. Women automatically think because there's this potential for pussy that automatically makes dudes like what value do you really believe is on to potential pussy price exchange now? Oh, that's worth 3 days spending $60-$70 per date, or $50 per date, or 70 or 80 or $100 per date. Oh, well, if you got it like that, then you wouldn't be worried about that. No, it's not about, because then that's where the you're broke argument comes in. No, that's not what it is. No, that's not what it is. I care more about my time than my money. There's a hell of a lot of other shit I could be doing other than sitting there being bullshit. Like, seriously. So Sister George wants to step up to the plate. So let's see what she's talking about. Let's see what Sister George is talking about. What makes a woman decided to take out not worth it? What makes a woman you decide to take out not worth it? I'll say this when she turns. Okay, I'll answer your question directly. Number one, if she turns out to be a dumb bitch, because I really don't like dumb females. Number two, if a female is not in the conversation and I don't fucking want to hear, well, maybe it's what you're talking about. Well, if it's what I'm talking about, then maybe I need to accept that L and end the date. How about that? So yeah, it could be me, but a woman, but it's not, look, men are not, again, if a woman, this is what kills me. It's not a man's job to dance for a bitch. If a woman, pretty much no matter what the fuck he's talking about. That's some shit that women don't really like to admit to, because so real talk, if a woman's not engaged, that's a sign of disinterest, and really you need to end that shit right there, because it's not going anywhere. That's not being angry about the woman, but see, a woman would say you need to go ahead and see the date through. No, because shit can change. No, I don't. This isn't going anywhere. The vibes are not there, and it's better for your time and for mine. And some women will end the date quickly and do that. And that's fine. And if dudes get mad about that, that's on them. And that would make the woman in the right. But yeah, those are the two. Disinterest and non-engagement, and the chick just being dumb. So let's go to the next one. A lot of men don't know how to vet women. They're not will. It's not a how, it's more of a will to do so. Black men in particular don't believe in leaving pussy on the table. Me, I don't care. And a lot of issues with dudes is dudes are not approaching. I ain't talking about cold approaching. They're not creating situations by which they can approach as a mechanism of having people in their pipeline. That is on the dudes. And that's a big, don't say scarcity mindset. But at the end of the day, that has nothing, that it may be true, but that has nothing to do with what I'm saying about these chicks. Because the issue, the topic is emasculating men because of predates, or because men are vetting women. Because you got dudes, quite frankly, that people are trying to say that if you vet a woman vis-a-vis a predate, then that means you're broke, or you're a virgin, or you're not a man. And that's bullshit. That's not true. We need to stop having trying to emasculate dudes. Like at the end of the day, if a woman doesn't want to deal with that, she don't got to deal with that. But then don't cry about ain't nobody wanting to take you out because you may not be worth it. That's all I'm saying, and that's the topic. So really, we're starting out on this topic with dudes are vetting women. So that dudes are not vetting, and I understand you haven't been here the whole time, but I'm just letting you know, that's not really relevant. Why take them out, period? Again, that's where you're going back to that other question, talking about, women that I said are not worth it. That's not what I was saying, but that's what you heard. People gotta stop hearing what the fuck they want to hear. See, she's trying to frame it from a complaint standpoint, because that's how she's hearing it. Whatever. That's true. A huge part of an effective vetting is where and how you met the woman. That's absolutely true. But at the same time, what we need to be honest, the thing that I'm trying to communicate in this video is something very simple. Women are not genuine today. Even Danielle has been one of the main ones. Oh, well, we got secrets. Oh, you're telling our secret. Men ain't got no secrets from women like that. Men ain't got these general secrets that we tell each other, but we ain't really telling that women don't know about. Men are a lot more transparent. Women are the deceptive party. So I'm not sitting here complaining. I'm saying their ability to be deceptive. And that's really where a lot of the emasculating shaming comes in, on trying to say this is the standard of what a man is. Because they want to have that right to have a relationship. And I would argue that about 50 or 75% of y'all that y'all got niggas that at any given point y'all can fuck on some cheating shit. And if you're single, you women got like 5 or 6 dudes. That's fine. But then don't come at a dude and say he's not being a man because he ain't really decided if you worth taking out on a date, because you've clearly demonstrated that you're really community pussy. You've demonstrated that you're on some I'm for everybody that strikes my fancy type of shit. That's fine. But don't then say, oh, well, what a real man would do. No, because you're fucking dudes for free you consider quote unquote real men until you have bastard kids with them, and then all of a sudden they're not men because they're not taking care of their kids. And then we want to talk like Rashida Schrober, where all these women want families and sell that good story that we like to sell. Like, it's very simple. And one thing that all men can read if a woman is engaged with them or not. If a woman is interested with them. The problem that black men have is, what do black men do with that? Because a lot of men don't know what to do. And men in general don't know what to do with that. They sit there, if a woman's not interested, they get upset. No, a woman has every right to be not interested. And maybe you're a lame ass nigga. That may be true. But guess the fuck what? You have every right to not waste your time. It's not a man's job to convince a bitch to be interested. That's where a lot of men fuck up. So when people have this every time somebody says real man, it's always framed at how it benefits the woman. This is why you hear me use the term bitch all the time right now. Because I'm really establishing you ain't shit. The only thing you got is a pussy. And let me be clear here. There's a price on that shit too. My time is money. So real fucking talk about somebody's broke. Anybody that's broke got all the time in the world to be chasing bitches. Niggas that ain't broke ain't got that kind of time. So we need to be honest. And I'm tired of this framing of men that are not broke operate this certain type of way. Okay, well then, quite frankly, the only conversation that needs to be had is how to get these niggas that got money. And can you really teach somebody how to do that? Because talking about niggas that are broke, really, it shouldn't even be a conversation about black men that are broke. They shouldn't even be in a conversation, to keep it all the way real, except to make somebody feel good. Anyway, let's go through what y'all are saying. Oh, and don't get me started with the black love. Oh, since we're on the topic. I don't know if Danielle's still listening, but I would have loved to get in on that black love, because let's keep it real. Black love is a myth. Black love is some magical shit that black women like to lean on, where they put everything, it's like sugar and spice and everything nice. They put everything that the TV and the media tells them a relationship is supposed to be. And then they call that they want out of a relationship, and they call that black love. To keep it all the way real about black love is dead and women killed it. There is no black love. I know people like to live in the magical, but there is no black love. Not really anymore. There is, and really before that. Oh, well, I only hear this shit on YouTube. No, it's only talked about online. Dudes are not going to talk. See, dudes, the only way you're going to really get conversations like this offline is if really you're dealing with family members. But a man is not going to tell you this shit because a man is trying to fuck. Your only real value is your sexual access value. So why would a dude blow that shit up by telling you some shit you don't want to hear? That's the answer to all of the why females say I don't hear this online. Why would you hear it offline? Because dudes are not out here trying to tell you shit that they know is gonna make you not want to fuck. People kill me with that shit. Like, oh, I don't hear this online. Why would you? Show me a situation where men would actually tell you anything that we're fucking telling you in real life and get emotional. But what about black? Let's say, what about the baby? What about black love? What does that mean? What have black women ever done for black love? What have black women ever done to preserve black love in the black community? I'll wait. Like seriously, it's this magical shit. Like, well, black love is, black people have a certain chemistry and a certain vibe. We have a shared experience, but again, that's all from your perspective. Black men, what have black men done to protect black love? Black stepfatherhood, black men raising kids that ain't fucking theirs. That's our contribution. So I'll wait for yours. I ain't talking to Danielle and individually. I'm just talking in general. Yeah, like seriously, black men, we as a group, we got the shit we done did. That we done made to the patron saint, whoever the goddess, black love is a goddess, the goddess of black love, the black Aphrodite or whoever the chick will be, maybe some light skinned bitch. We've made our contributions to that shit. And what do we get? You get what the community is now. And that's why dudes ain't doing that shit. Really, what it is, black love is designed to counter black male selfishness. Because that's really what the problem is, right? The problem is choice. Even with this video, what does it come back to? Look, a woman has every right to say, I'm not going on no pre-date shit. I don't like that shit. That's some goofy shit. If you ain't gonna take me on a date, don't waste my time because I'm not getting ready for some dumb shit. Woman has every right to say that. And if a dude has a problem with that, this is not an argument about if women should accept the predate or not. No, they have every right to say they're not accepting that for whatever. They don't have to give a reason for whatever reason. I have no problem with that. And if dudes have a problem with that, then yeah, that's when the dudes are on some fuckery. But this idea that just off the strength of dudes wanting to predate, that we're gonna call that, oh, you not being a man. That's bullshit. Men have every right to a woman any way they please, and it's the burden of a man to get women to vet. And if they can't get women to vet, then they got to look at their vetting system and based on what they want. Self-improvement, being the value that creates the gravity well so they can put up those filters. I get it. But this idea that we're going to emasculate and shame, that's what I have a problem with. And when I hear saying that shit on some you broke and you this, I got to have their opinion, but I got an issue with that. Because at the end of the day, you're not helping women. Like I got an issue with that because that's not help. Number one, that's not helping women at all. Yeah, that's not helping women. Because when you understand, especially at the higher tiers, the higher tier you go up as far as 92s and the type of men that they want, the more harder it is for them to get the type of dudes they want. Yeah. That's not, you're not helping women by telling dudes they oh, well, like, and I'm going to tell you why I know you. We used to have a woman, Danielle would like this woman. You would like her a lot. Her name is Ashley. Ashley's cool. I don't have an issue with Ashley. Actually, what she did was actually really, she didn't do anything. It was actually really like, you would be like, really, that's it? That's why she ain't in the manosphere no more? Danielle would be like, that's on some petty shit if she actually, well, I'm gonna tell you what happened. What happened was she was interviewing Jap because Ashley had about 10,000, 12,000, 13 subscribers, and she built her stuff up. Cool, fairly attractive. Chicago. She had an interview with Jap, and she she called herself out. She kind of put herself on, not put herself on, that's what she tripped herself up because she went out of her way to say she don't want no dudes. Now this is a woman, it's a single mother from Chicago. This ain't no bougie chick, no 92, no 80. I would say she's more like an 80. I'll say 89, but really 87, 89, right? And she was talking about, oh, I don't want no blue collar dude. Now I know why she said it because I know what she associates blue collar to be. But you got a lot of women that they want not even like 92s, but they want dudes that are like 92. They want dudes that have higher social status. It's not even about the money. It is about the money, but it's more what they identify with it. But they want the higher social statuses. And like they went back and it wasn't even an argument. They went back and forth just so they could massage that really what you on. And yeah, and you got a lot of black women that don't want blue collar dudes. It doesn't matter how much they make, or unless they know how much they make, they have an issue with blue collar people, which is crazy because that's where the majority. So you got folks that are constantly on this I don't want a broke nigga shit, but you fucking broke niggas. This is why there's all this man sharing going on. This is why if you got a husband, he got so much easy access to other bitches because women ain't got no respect for that shit. Because it's all this man sharing. And the real talk, what nobody's really saying is the reason why there's so much man sharing is not really because it's so few dudes that can do something. It's because most of these niggas are not doing, don't gotta do shit. Why would you give a woman anything if you fuck it anyway? If I fuck it anyway, hey, I know you gonna fuck. Why would I do any of this shit? And then you got dudes seeing that and like, why the fuck I'm not about to be the beta bucks. I'm not about to do that. So, and then other people want to come in and then again start shaming, talking about, oh, well, real man would do this. No, fuck that. No, a real woman wouldn't be giving pussy up to niggas for free. And then think, too. So, no, you're not going to get courting rules where you're playing Tatiana or when you're trying to low-key do it behind the scenes. I don't give a fuck about why you're doing it. You can do that, but I get to make a judgment call. Like a motherfucker telling me what a real premium car would be, and then that shit is a salvage title. No, don't do that. You don't treat it the same. And that's what nobody never really wants to do. Nobody wants to be honest about how shit really goes down. What they want to do is they want to talk from these like ad hominem straw man arguments. Like for real. And this is why when you hear certain movements get called out, And then you see how people respond. They can't, because again, they're on some, you just need to decide that you're, and most of the time, if y'all are not getting a lot, it's not because you accepted it, it's because that's where the water has sunk into. If you're willing to accept niggas for free, then that's because that's the price, I guess, of getting the sexual satisfaction that you want. But nobody really wants to say that, or nobody really wants to put that out there. They just want to frame it like, oh, you were just giving people a chance, and now all of a sudden you're going to establish standards that you never established before. And I'm like, if you want to try to do that, be my guest. I have no problem with that. But that's what she did. Oh, I don't want no blue collar dudes. But white collar dudes are lame. Right? We know what's associated with typical white collar black men. So it's like, what, I ask myself, what you can have a relationship and build with. And if you actually honestly ask a woman to map that out to you, I don't give a fuck what she is. You'll find it's some shit that by the law of numbers don't really exist. It's some ghost thug in a suit dude, or some crazy shit like that you like, this shit doesn't exist in the type of numbers in real life for you to be justifying wanting that shit like that. Like, there's no way you've seen this shit enough in person for you to actually be expecting this is some reasonable shit you can actually achieve. There's no way. There is no fucking way. And Zoe Williams said this, and he was absolutely right. Folks are dating fantasies. Folks are dating fantasies. The difference is, men ain't got no problem telling other men that what the fuck you dealing with is a fantasy. We have no problem telling people that the fantasy costs. But with women, they expect the fantasy to come to them. So anyway, that's my little rant. See what the fuck y'all talking about. Black women out here that don't want to date blue collar dudes, and I'm like, most of your men that are gainfully employed in a real way are blue collar dudes. Most of the black masculinity is in the blue man. So oh yeah, have been having red pill discussions offline. Now, yeah, and you'll have that with other dudes. There's some shit like that. So, I mean, it's niggas are not ready to really receive that information offline because they want to live in their own regular world. I know, I've had it. I know how to present this shit in a certain type of way. So where, okay, it's not gonna go down like that. Because I know how to, and that's something that needs to be talked about too, how to bring up red pill shit without having a knockdown, drag out argument. Because what they're trying to do is shout you down. They're not even trying to really engage in the actual argument. Who said that? Well, see, you got dudes that tell you got dudes that tell dudes that they need to pay cash before they actually start exploring other markets, because you're not allowed to say date other people. That you can't say in the black community. It is a fantasy. So like dudes that like are like breed up, they're lame. That speaks to, Danielle's emotional disposition as far as what they prioritize emotionally. Because what you prioritize emotionally is really based on how you've been programmed in the society. That's what women don't understand. Women just say you like what you like. No, you don't. What you like has been predicated on how you've been pre-imprinted as you were younger. And your environment is not just your physical environment. Your environment is your the media you have access to as well, because that has a direct influence. The brain can't really tell a difference. Non-class young men, doctors are like the preeminent white collars. So I don't know what you're talking about there. They're considered white collar, and that's what you're hearing. You're hearing 92s. Oh yeah, I know. Like I was looking at that, Danielle. Have black men enabled the black women? No, they haven't. The short answer is no, hell no, and hell to the motherfucking no. That is a female framed question. Have black men enabled the women that they complain about? No, because black men don't control the environment. The only thing that black men control is who they choose to deal with. And who that's predicated on is predicated on in factors that we don't have direct control over. Women, if you remove a lot of these laws, you remove women's ability to do a lot of this shit. So no, black men haven't enabled it. Are there some things the black men could have did differently as a group? Sure. But black women do what they can get away with. And black men, that's not, and what they can get away with is not really black men enabling. And here's what's funny about that title. So we'll have a title like that, which is cool, but then I gotta do a video about a random nigga talking about you broke or you a virgin if you ain't taking a bitch out on a date, even though she may not be interested in you. You see what I'm talking about there? You see how that works? What's up, Roastmaster? Yeah, black, because again, being a hold on. Let me be clear here, Danielle. Being a stepfather, if you're talking to me personally, which I don't know you are, being a stepfather is not enabling bad behavior. And you notice women never frame it that way. They frame it as a man stepping up. SYSBM is the only real true counter to what you're talking about when it comes to enabling bad behavior, because men are exercising the only power they actually have, which is their choice. And you see how not only women, but how dudes feel about that. That's like me saying my lack of willingness to beat the shit out of a woman that disrespects me is enabling a woman to be a bitch. Those are not either ors. The reason why the stepdaddy market failed is not because next generation of women didn't respect it and they disrespected it. So as a result, that's a market that today's women don't have access to like yesterday's women did. So dudes are already removing shit already. Marriage. Only 33% of black people are married. More men are married than women by a couple of points. So dudes have already been removing shit. It's just not talked about. It's just not talked about. So that's not enabling. But hey, I'll look out for that conversations when you have it. No, because you can see really what you're trying to frame it as the way you're framing it, Danielle, is a woman at base is just because anything she can do, she will do. There is so devoid of honor, respect, love, and kindness that basically you need to be on some fucking saw shit. And anything you need to keep your foot on their motherfucking neck 24/7. And anytime you let up, she's liable to do some dumb shit. No, that's how you're framing it. And women, you're basically framing it like women are just bitches by default, and men have just enabled them to be bitches, which may be true. That's why black men are fucking leaving. But black men didn't, like, women didn't start, oh, women started out great, and because men just were good men, women just turned into bitches because they could. Well, if that's the case, then black love is definitely dead. And if that's the case, the only real answer to that title that you have is to go SYSBM. You do realize that title makes an SYSBM argument. You do realize that, right? But anyway, it's been cool talking to y'all, but I gotta get my hair cut. So with that said, yeah, it's always these idiots. They kill me, man. They're losers. It's funny to me. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Well, hey, a woman with a plan, the most dangerous thing in the world. So, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace. Yeah, I will say this. Danielle did go on record saying she's not mad at SYSBM. I did want to say that, not act like she didn't type that. So, anyway, peace out.